The hardest part of making AI content is not the tools, it's figuring out exactly what you want it to look like and then being able to recreate that aesthetic consistently every single time. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can take inspiration from other images you see online, add in your own unique flair, and then use Venice to create a reusable prompt template that you can use over and over again. Images, video, all of it. No design experience needed. This is a beginner-friendly tutorial. Even if you've never used Venice before, I will walk you through how everything works, and we will be using a text, image, and video generation model here, so you can really get the full scope of what Venice can offer you as a content creator. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to need to do is find an aesthetic we like, or at least samples of something to show our AI what we want to imitate. So here are some creators on Instagram, for example, and you can see that they each follow certain aesthetics, even though these images are all very different, these generations. Some of them are videos, once again, very creative. And some of them might just be photos or actual just carousels, but these are all AI generated. Here's another one. So what we want to do is feed the samples into the Venice chat window, and we're going to use a text model that has what's called vision, so it can see the images we give it and analyze the style and aesthetic for us. And what I'm going to do is just screenshot these on my computer. I'll screenshot a bunch of them. And remember, we want there to be some uniformity to these screenshots that we make, or else it will just be super random and the AI won't really understand what we want to do. So I have these screenshots. I'm going to click this little lightning button and I'm going to attach image or document. From here now, I can select these screenshots, and now they're all attached. I'm going to say, analyze these images and create a default template image generation prompt to imitate the style. Now, generally speaking, auto mode should do just fine to accomplish this task. But let's take a look at what's actually happening under the hood. Here we want a text model that has what is this vision tag. That vision tag means the model can see, it can look at the images. Notice how not all of these models have the vision tag. So we want to find one that does not need credits, but also has the vision tag. So down here we see all the models, and it can be a little bit intimidating because there are so many that Venice offers you. But there are a few that are free to use with your account and have vision. So underneath the hood, Venice is going to automatically choose this Qwen 3 VL235B model because it is free with your account, it is fully private, and it has vision. So that's what this auto tag means. That is what is going to happen. But I'm telling you this because you might not like the results, in which case I recommend using a proprietary model. Yes, they do cost a few credits here and they have vision, but it is likely that you will get better results. So keep that in mind as we proceed. Analyze the style and aesthetic of these images and create a default template image generation prompt to imitate it. Now, this model has given us a template to use. So I could either copy this and get right to generating images, or I can continue the conversation. I want to see a fashion model on Mars in this aesthetic, generate the prompt. So now instead of having to manually go through here and really figure out what we want, you could obviously do that, and that could be very creatively satisfying as well. But if you want to do it a little faster because you just have the general idea, you can just tell the AI to create that prompt. So before we move on, there's just one more thing I want to say is that we want to make it unique in our own way. So what I would recommend doing at this point is take that basic prompt and say, okay, now we need to make this our own. I personally like a hot pink aesthetic. I like big planets in the sky and electric sound waves, for example. Obviously, anything generated by AI is going to end up being its own thing. These models have been trained on plenty of artists' work as it is, but ideally you want to make sure that you're getting to something super creative and unique so your work can stand out. So play with your prompt until you're ready to move on. So from here, I can either copy the prompt, paste it, find the image generation model, and get it generated, or I can simply press this create image button, create image. And now here we see it literally just put this prompt right here, and it switched us over to image generation models. Now, once again, these models with the little green coin icon means it costs credits. You have to put credits onto your account. So we want to make sure we're choosing one of the more default models here. I'll go with Z Image Turbo. I can click this icon to see how many variants do I want. Let's see, I want 4 variants, 4 options. I can also click the settings toggle, 4 variants. I can choose which resolution I want. If this is going to be for Instagram, I'll choose Instagram. We'll hide the watermark. We don't need to enhance the prompt. And all of this other stuff we don't really need to worry about. But just so you know it exists, you can also choose a image style here. We have our image style pretty ingrained into our prompt. But if you want to explore, this is always kind of fun. So let's generate 4 variations following the aesthetic we're trying to mimic. Okay. We see that it's pretty spot on. Now, I'll show you what that looks like with a paid model. Let's see if it's any better. You'll see that that's going to cost 72 credits for the 4 generations. That is 72 cents on Venice. This model, Nano Banana Pro, is by Google. And it is one of the state-of-the-art models out there, and that's why it costs money. But as you can see, I think this open source model that we used earlier, arguably equal quality. I'm not fully convinced that this Google model did actually better than this one. But I do like that aspect of the moon, huh? So we've got the images now, and if we want, we can tweak the prompt. We can try generating with a different model to see if it makes it differently. For example, let's try generating with Chroma. I'll switch to just 2 variants, and we'll regenerate. Okay, we're getting more or less the same kind of results here from all the different models, and that's because we have I think, a pretty good prompt. So now what we're going to do is take the one we like and turn it into a video. So I happen to be fond of this moon here. Something about that moon I like. So I'll take this and I can simply, well, there's lots of things I could do. I could upscale it to a higher resolution. Not necessary right now. I could remove the background, which might get funky, or I can create video from it. So I'll simply touch this button, create video. Now we see we have the video models selector open. And inside the video model selector, we can choose image to video or text to video. Now, right now, we're using an image to turn into videos. So we want to stay here. And now we'll also see that all video generations on Venice require credits. You have to have credits in your account to generate videos. We have open source video models here. We have uncensored video models here. We have some of the best frontier proprietary models here. Kling 3 is one of the best out. Veo 3.1 is amazing. Sora 2, you've probably heard about. So we want to choose which model we want. And we'll notice if I choose Video Q3, for example, and I choose, let's say, 8 seconds, that's going to be 156 credits, $1.56. Or if I make it shorter, that'll be 58 cents. If I raise the resolution, for most models, the price will not change. So I may as well do a higher resolution. 8 seconds. If I switch over to, let's see, Veo 3.1 Fast, which you can see I have on favorite. 8 seconds default, 1080p, 132 credits. It's actually cheaper than Vidu. If we choose Juan, which is an open source model, uncensored, 10 seconds is our option here. 165 credits. So that is what we're playing with when we want to make a decision. The best way to get to know the models is to just mess around with them. Truthfully. So once again, Veo 3.1 is my favorite. I think it's one of the best models around. So I'll just keep it set there. 8 seconds. $1.32 this will cost me. So what do I want to prompt it? I could simply leave it as the default, bring this image to life, and we'll literally just see what it does, right? It's got everything. It's kind of got motion there. But what we could also do for better results is copy this image. I'll start a new chat real quick. I'll go back to a text model, make sure we get Qwen3VL selected, and we'll say, I want to turn this image into a video. Make a creative prompt for me based on what you see. Now here we see the woman is going to be striding barefoot. Let's say I want the moon to grow in size as the woman strides barefoot. So now I'll copy this and I'll go back to the old conversation here. We'll click the create video button. I will paste that whole prompt there. We'll go back to Veo 3.1 and we will generate. Okay, it's done. Let's take a look. It's got a little heartbeat sound wave there. Cool. And the moon does get bigger as she walks. Cool. So there you have it. So as a recap, what we've done here is taken screenshots and prompted the Venice text model to match the aesthetic into a default prompt that we can save. We can keep that for the future. Then we said, okay, here's exactly the scene I want. Generate the exact prompt. Then we clicked the create image button to create an image from that prompt. From there, we chose our favorite and we clicked the create video button. We chose the model we wanted to explore and we've created the video. We can now save this, we can regenerate it, or we can keep creating. So have fun creating content with Venice. Remember, if you're having trouble, the Venice Discord community is very vibrant and alive with folks interested in supporting you in your creative endeavors. Just come ask your questions and someone is bound to help out. And for more tutorials on using Venice and all it has to offer with AI, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video.